back to the TCI headquarters. Time for our preview predictions video. I know you guys made a lot of money last week betting on our predictions. We apologize. You lost your house, your boat, your car. This week we'll try to do a little bit better.
I wonder if there's anybody that had Duke straight up. I don't think so. No. We said Clemson wouldn't cover.
Well, I can promise you nobody had them by 3 touchdowns.
Correct. I guarantee you that.
Yeah. If they did, they should play the lottery or do whatever. All right, we have the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. We have the new Tiger Walk. We have a 2:15 kickoff, which is just
weird,
crazy, but I love it. We can't have 1 o'clock or noon. That's closer. But if this team ever needs to get back into Death Valley, if they ever need Clemson fans support, it's this weekend.
Absolutely.
So if you're thinking about staying home and sitting on the sofa and watching it, because we got 3 home games in a row. I had somebody tell me today, a lot of fans, they won't come to 3 in a row. Come to 3 in a row. Get out there and do your
part. Why won't you come to 3 in a row?
It's Clemson football.
Saturday.
You only have 7 times. You get to see a new Tiger Walk. You get to support this team. So
shame on you if you don't.
And we need to get this team supported and built up the next 2 weeks, and then we know this Florida State game will be crazy. So, Will, key to victory this week for the Tigers?
Well,
what are you laughing for?
Well, because they should just win. Period. I mean, the key is just be efficient on offense. Okay, you get in the red zone, score touchdowns. That's what I want to see. We haven't seen that the last 2 times we've seen Clemson play a football game, right? I mean, like you said, they can drive 20-20, but boy, or actually they can drive 20-1 and can't get in the end zone. So, just I want to see them execute in the red zone and get in the end zone. I think more than anything just for their confidence.
They should have a lot of end zone dances saved up, right?
Yes, they should. They absolutely should. So that's my key.
All right, what's yours, Cameron?
Well, obviously, I think the exact same thing when it comes to efficiency on offense, but I'll change it up a little bit. Obviously, as I've said before, I don't think the defense played bad, and I think going against Riley Leonard kind of limited this a little bit, but let's get a sack this week. I think that's something that we can do. Let's try to get a good few sacks, try to get to the quarterback and set the Buccaneers offense back, because obviously, even though you pressured Riley Leonard at times, you didn't set them back. So obviously you've got to get home and get those opportunities, because 2nd and 15 sounds a lot better than 2nd and 10.
Well, I'll tell you, though, Riley Leonard, he's a real smart guy. I mean, he really is. He knew he'd go through his quick reads. He knew what he was doing with the football. And if it wasn't there, he'd just throw it out of bounds. Because he knew that defense, he couldn't let that rush get to him and they'd get behind the chains. Very smart football player, no doubt about that. But if you notice, Robert, you probably notice this more. Would notice this more. The last couple of years, this is how teams play Clemson. They either do the quick, short passing game. They get the ball.
That's what sitting there. That's not going to work. The good teams with good personnel, that is absolutely not going to work.
Yeah, they're just getting rid of the football fast, so you can't pressure and come at them anymore. To me, play cover 3. Just sit there, play cover 3.
Somewhere.
Keep them in front of you, so you don't have busted plays behind you, a la the wheel route, which Duke is still running for 20 yards every time they catch it. Stay home, Barrett Carter. Because you're just getting killed by things like that. So if they're going to do a quick passing game and get the ball out of hands, then make sure your guys are sitting in cover 3. You just blow that crap up and you force them into third and long situations, and then they got to drop back to throw the ball, and that's when your defensive line can take over.
I'm gonna have to disagree with Vanderbilt.
Okay.
That never happened.
Go ahead. Yeah, that never happens.
With the defensive line Clemson's got, kind of going off what you said, if they're going to do that, then I want the corner right there on the receiver at the line of scrimmage. I want that daggum, what's going to cuss here in a minute, I want that defensive line to go out there and dominate like they can and put that quarterback on his butt. And because there's 2 ways to do it. One way is to play back. Another way is to put those guys in press coverage and let that defensive line get in there quick enough. So my key is going to be, I agree with you on the offense. I'm not convinced that we've got the offense that's going to get where they need to be a championship type offense. We'll see, hopefully growth. So I'm going to go defense, and this defense needs to start playing the level of the Georgia defense 2 years ago. They've got some talent, a lot of similar. They're going to have to absolutely dominate games for this team to beat the Notre Dames and beat the Florida States and beat the North Carolinas.
They need to step up.
The offense is going to get you some points, hopefully down the road a little bit, but this isn't offense that's going to go out and score 40 points on a really good team. So this defense is going to have to be able to dominate and keep teams in single digits and just dominate these football games.
Remember how good that 2021 defense was?
Mm-hmm.
That was a dominant Clemson defense. Might be the best defense Brent Venables had, in my opinion. Because they would have led the country in scoring defense if it wasn't for Georgia, who just happened to beat them by a couple points. You know, I mean, that's how doggone good they were. In the top 10 in every defensive category that season. That Clemson defense was unbelievable, and that's what Clemson needs, and we haven't seen that. And doggone it,
We saw a better secondary.
yeah, we did. Saw a whole lot
We
better
got
secondary.
2 All-American linebackers. You got some freaks on the defensive line. You got the pieces there to have a daggone defense. That just says,
Absolutely.
I don't care who the heck we're going to play. Offense, give us 10 points, and we're going to win the game.
And by the way, we see these videos of Joey Batson and these guys, and they're in fourth quarter and they're pumping iron and everything. You'll see it. We're talking about, and it's like, you know, they're all like, you know, where nobody beats us in the fourth quarter. You put rings on the finger or whatever,
Woo!
right?
And it works.
Listen,
Monday.
you got your butt handed to you in the fourth quarter against
Who
Duke.
did they play?
Duke.
Okay.
They got their butt handed to them in the fourth quarter. Listen, they gave up 39 yards rushing in the first half. Clemson did 39. Duke finished with 199. Duke ran for 89 yards in the fourth quarter and averaged 7.4 yards per carry.
Ain't going into that.
You call yourself the best defense in the country? You're not even the best defense in the ACC. You're not even a top 5 defense in the ACC. Stop saying all this crap and everything and start doing it. I'm tired of you guys saying stuff and not doing it. Just go out there and play football. Show everybody you can be the best defense in the country, because right now, you showed Duke is a bit more physical than you are, and that Duke just ran it right up your butt the other night in the fourth quarter.
All right, we're going to change direction here. And we're going to talk about prediction. Will's getting a little fired up. All right.
One more thing though, I will say, Robert, because
Don't
you
get too fired up.
Oh no! I won't get too fired up.
Yeah, calm and not.
If something happens this weekend, then I might.
Okay.
But I will say, as you said with that defensive line, you don't have to send pressure to get a sack on Charleston Southern. No disrespect to them, but the defensive line Clemson has, if you can't pressure them with 4 guys, as you said,
You should be able to.
You should not be able. You should not be up there as confident.
And you know what? You're going to have to pressure Travis in 3 weeks when he comes to town.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we better start getting that dominating defense going.
And with their skill players, you
Yes.
can't send 5 or 6. You're going to get
We're
killed.
going to have to
Absolutely.
step it up.
Those safeties
The
need to
good news
double
is-
up those guys.
I think the talent's there on the defense to do that. All right, Will, we're going to go with your predictions.
Yeah.
You guys get your little boat parlays out and write this down.
All I'm saying is I'm going to say 59-0, and it better be 59-0. Not be 59-7, not be 35-7, not be 42-14. No, it better be 59-0. Charleston Southern is an FCS team. You're supposed to be big bad Clemson. You're supposed to dominate teams like this. You better do it. And by the way, Dabo might want to keep the players in on offense a lot longer than normal. I know you like to pull them early, get other guys play. Cade Klubnik and that offense, they need to play as long as you can.
Okay.
All right,
Does that make you feel better if they
I'm
do
done.
win?
They better shut them out, though. I'm
If they win
serious.
59-0, you're going to feel better?
I'll feel better if they. I feel definitely better if the defense gets a shutout, because it's ridiculous if they don't shut out Charleston Southern. It's ridiculous.
All right, you got a high bar there, Cameron.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I was going to give them 3 points, but I think I got to go with you and go 52-0.
Okay, there we go.
Because, yeah, I mean, I guess we got to speak it into existence at this point, because you got to be able to shut down that offense and prove something on your offensive side. As you said, you got to have confidence. Obviously, this week you should win, and by a very large margin, and I think that goes into it. But you want to add on good reps. You want to stack good reps, and that can start this week.
Absolutely, totally, 100% agree.
You guys aren't going to believe this.
You're going to be the smaller on one.
Absolutely.
Well, you're going to be small.
We're just speaking into
I'm
existence.
burned.
Yeah.
I'm burned. I've been burned too many times the last 3 years. So this offense is going to have to prove to me. I know it's the Buccaneers, right?
Yeah. Good
Chargers,
job.
Buccaneers. No Tom Brady on this team. They're going to have to prove it to me. And I think I've got a little different take from you. I'm going to go with the 0, but I'm going to go with Clemson like 45. 45-0.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
So I'm going to go a little lower than both of y'all.
How horrific, 45-0.
But I think if you Dabo, you need to play the backup quarterback a little bit in this game.
I played him a little bit.
I know you want to play the starters and all that, but you got a running quarterback who could get hurt at any time. We need to see what else we got. If I'm going to use the CV for 4 games, I want to see a little bit of something, either this game or Florida Atlantic, You need to see what he's got.
I think you'll see him. I do think
Um,
you'll see him.
So that's, and the other thing is the last thing they need is to get, because as we know, they don't have a lot of the dudes they need in certain positions. The last thing they need is for a dude to get hurt when they're up 40-0 against the Buccaneers.
Well, I'm not talking about the dudes on offense, you're right. But, I mean, the dudes on defense, you're right. You can take them off the field early if they want to. I think they're fine.
What happens if a receiver dude gets hurt?
But the dudes on, well,
I don't know who that is.
I was about to say that. I mean, the dudes on offense need reps. They also need their confidence, as he said.
Yeah.
They just need to get some confidence. And so, to me, I know what you're saying. I agree with you. But
It's a double
your
sword.
quarterback, your starter needs confidence too.
Right.
And he needs to see his receivers catch the ball on a big play,
Right.
on a big pass play. He needs to see his running backs run it into the end zone. He needs to see his offensive line blow open holes at the goal line. Because your quarterback needs that. Because you could tell at times Cade Klubnik was a little antsy. And I understand it. He's like, man, am I going to have to make every play? Because I think that's what was going on in his head at times. Because guys just weren't doing what they needed to in critical situations.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. So it should be a shutout. That means
Shutout.
the Buccaneers score 40, but we'll see.
I'm going to be mad if they score. You know how I am. I'm going to be mad if they score.
All right. Hopefully we're better on the predictions this week. Make sure you get out to Death Valley Saturday and support the Tigers. You only got 7
Tiger
opportunities.
Walk.
New Tiger Walk.
New Tiger.
They spent a lot of money on that.
If you haven't seen it, you
Time
got to
on
come see it.
that.
It's gorgeous.
Looks nice. I think I might have spent that money somewhere else, but that's just me. So make sure you get out and support the Tigers. We're going to have everything covered for you Saturday from Death Valley, and stay tuned to the Clemson Insider for the most complete coverage of Clemson athletics.
This is Miles Murphy. Make sure to check out Clemson Insider's most complete football coverage. Nobody does it better.